Hey everybody, how you guys doing today? Hey man, I tell you what, it's been a pretty good day. Been a pretty good day so far. Just think it's gonna get better. Absolutely do. Absolutely, man. It's been interesting the last couple of days, and then the feeling of today. It's awesome how things just keep on changing around here. I mean, I'm sure that many of you can agree that it's been obvious that things have been happening. Things have been happening. I mean, you may not know and understand what exactly is because it's like feelings that you have, energies that come. Sometimes they kind of make you feel like you're out under the weather or something, you know. But if you can realize that it's an energy change and accept it and roll with it, it seems to take that under the weather feeling and then give you some type of added benefit instead. And that is what I want to try to show a lot of you out there that I see so many across YouTube and things. Whenever there's an energy shift, I'm not feeling good. My stomach, my head, this, that, and the other. These crazy symptoms for all these energies. We don't have to suffer them, guys. We don't have to. We don't. There's a lot of things that we've succumbed to because we believe that we don't have a choice. But we do. Choice, 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 choice. That's what I've always been about, choice. A lot of things, they take choice. And I've always felt that there was something wrong with it. It's too much like slavery. And why are we so controlled? Why do we have to be controlled? What's everybody so scared of? Why are we divided and conquered so eloquently that they have so many, like the massive amount of the population, believing that it's popular and it's proper to be segregated and separated when there's really truly no difference? Yeah, may have a little bit different of a skin color, maybe a different background because we've lived in a different area, for centuries and things have changed for perceptional reasons. We're human beings. Of course they do. We chose to see it differently and look in the mirror and see us differently than we did somewhere else and somewhere else and somewhere else. Wow, that's not that hard to understand. And it's not that hard to grasp. Especially when you start to open your mind up to what's really like possible in little pieces around. I mean, I'm big on no limits. I go for the gusto myself. And a lot of people say I push it too far. But if we're gonna open a door, don't you want to open it, or do you want to just crack it and try to squeeze through? Hey, this is supposed to be Tomorrowland, Wonderland, Eden, Heaven, if we can see it. It's been so long since we haven't had anybody that has been right there with the ability to proving us that it's not one personal specific entity that is doing it. Until now, it's always been fence sitting, keeping quiet because, come on, we've seen it. What happens when we've opened our mouths? A lot of you, even though you may not think about this or may not have realized it yet, it may trigger it when you hear this. And it's going to explain a lot of those feelings that you have in certain times, certain situations that control you to act a certain way that doesn't feel right, that kind of, it's like, why did I do that? What's wrong here? Because of things that happen when, we try to help people. Sometimes the hand that feeds gets bit. But we can't stop handing it out. We got to extend the hand, guys. We can't take it, can't take it away. It hurts us the same. So hey, you gotta remember to keep it happy, keep it positive. I mean, there's things out here that we have to be aware of. Some of us have jobs that only need them to be, let's just say, passively blind to many things and perfectly positive to everything. It's the energy that they spread. They don't understand what it's like to be on the side that are see what is really happening behind the scenes that has been affecting us in the negative ways and taking care of those problems rather than getting stuck with all these delusional aspects that are being created day by day that are really not but tiny itty bitty fluctuations of energy that are easily taken care of. But then underneath that, hidden in the back in the shadow where we thought we took care of the problems, lies the problem that has existed for thousands of years. They didn't see that. And there shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. But hey, they got greedy. They took their power to their head. And I want to say this with the enlightened beings that would be considered, what do they call them? Entitlement children. You know, those ones that they know that it's owed to them. It's theirs. They already know it. They know this world was theirs. Hey, you. I see you. But guess what? I'm here for you too. It's very easy to lose yourself with what you know, especially with what's coming. We have to make sure that we do not lose ourselves, because you need to take a real good look at what happened to Egypt and where they are right now, and what they've been doing and what they represent. Because if you're not careful, that's what happens to you. See what happened? They got greedy, they got powerful, they took, now granted, in the beginning, Egyptians, they were, what seemed to me, decent people, decent rulers. They cared, they tried to make best things for their people. But then their children were born and they ruled, and then their children were born and they ruled, y'all know how it went. Sooner or later, you really get to be that preppy rich type of idea, like that whole persona stereotype where you just really don't have any responsibility in your bones because you've never been forced to have that. You don't have any suffering. You don't have any way to connect to the people and how they feel and the things that affect them by what you do. And when that happens, it's bad. You start to lose your actual connection to Source, to God, to the planet, to that which you need to live, the energy. Absolutely. You have to have that. Now, a lot of people, they don't realize that they have it. They have just like this minimal effect. And it keeps us alive for some years. And, this little short life. It's fine. It is what it is. But you have to have it. And if you don't, you got to get that somewhere or you're going to just, it's like gone. I don't know exactly what happens. I'm not really privy on everything. I can't tell you why and how exactly the particulars were that it happened. But I know they're still here, sort of. And I know they have minions around. There's been some that have created secret societies, and they've given other secret societies really bad names because people take them and stereotype the others with them, and they're not good people. They're human beings that are taking advantage of empty promises given to them by manipulative souls that are left over and dirty and nasty and just deteriorated to blackness. But when I say blackness, is not just negative energy, like literal, what you would call evil. I guess that's what is represented as the evil that everybody says. I always tried to deny them. I thought that if there was no evil believed, there could be no evil in existence. For the most part, that is absolutely true. But for those that were equal to us, it kind of changes things, I guess. Like I said, not privy to everything, not all the time. Things come in waves. So, guys, we have to really watch it. We have to really take care into how we're treating others. Really. Now, I know you're worthy. You know you're worthy. We all are worthy. Remember, we all are worthy. Even if those that don't know they're worthy, they're worthy. That's the way it is. We have to treat them as such. Do not act like you are better than anybody, because you're not. You are equal to everybody. I heard a song the other day about somebody. I'm not going to say who it is, because if you hear this ever, you'll know who I'm talking about. It's you. Talking about, we are not equal. I am higher than you. We are not equal. You're not as good as me. And he is totally incorrect. There is not a person on this planet that he is better than. Just because he has money, he can take you and buy you whatever you want. That makes him better? Some of the richest men in the world are hating themselves and their lives because they have nothing inside. They're empty. They didn't find that thing that they were looking for with that money. So, where do you leave yourself with the money? just because you found some money and you lost yourself within the world of the, conforming to societal needs. You're not better than anybody. No, you're equal to them still. You're not worse than them even though you failed. You were supposed to fail, obviously, because you failed. That's what you were here to do. But why are you better than somebody because you failed? You failed to be evolved. You found what you needed to find. You got those connections to create those songs, and you failed at that point in time. Now that's not over. Now I have no idea as far as it went. I'm sure that it turned around. But it's just the point of the matter at that particular moment in time that was said. And see that as an example. That's all it is. Because I know I've heard songs past, and they are much of a higher standard. And I was thankful for that. But we have to make sure that we keep our own soul in check. Don't forget, it's still us too that it gets affected by what we do. Just because you're entitled and you're worthy doesn't mean you're above man's law. No, that is not true. You are not. So remember how you're treating people. We have to do the best we can to be as loving as we can. Now, some people are not going to be trying at all. Some people are going to try more than others. And however you do, it's fine, whatever. But then whatever happens to you, don't come crying. And that's what it is. I know how it is, and I try to tell, and that's all I can do. And hey, you can believe it or not, and that's your state of dwell. It's all simple but complicated. It's best said like that. I love that. When I hear it, it's like, yeah, it definitely is. It's simple. It's simple. Everything's so simple, but it is so vastly spread. One little simplicity can boil to everything and change in so many different ways, in so many different perspectives. To one person, one thing is justified and correct, and to the other, it's horrific. So who do you go by? And how could you have a judgment? How could anybody be a judgment onto that without affecting and hurting yourself? Because your perspective is then a third. Above them, incorrect. So how could anybody stand on a bench and judge another without, in fact, hurting their own soul? But then some do this as, as their penance. And I get that. They've had to try to live this life as they're meant to do, which is, it's within the system. Because somebody had to, and they have a strong enough soul that they can come back from it. And they watch what they do. And they don't get lost. Now, some get lost, some get, put into the whole dark area of on the take and all that. But that's been since the beginning of time, that some people are dirty and some people are not. Not that they were born dirty. Everything comes from the way you act, your individual choice. Choice. Choice is all it's about. I love choice. Always did. I always felt that if something takes a choice away, then it is a lie. It's an imprisonment. And especially since everybody always preached America, land of the free, home of the brave. I wonder, where are the brave standing up for the freedoms that we do not have, but we're supposed to have? It is said that we have them, but we don't have them. Why? Because there's too many sleeping folks. Too many, zombies, Walking Dead's, unaware that they are literally walking around powerhouses that create good or bad in their life every day. Just because you don't know doesn't stop you from creating. Just because you don't believe that you're creator doesn't stop you from creating. You're still creating. You're unconsciously creating. You're creating things to be of coincidental consequences to you. But you could form them, change things a bit, make your life a little better for you. All you got to do is start thinking more like what you desire rather than against what you don't like. I mean, oh my God, did you see that store get robbed? Oh, I was so scared. I thought they were going to get me. I mean, what if they would have gotten my car? Oh my God, then they could have Do you have any idea what you are doing to either yourself or somebody else right there? Right there. So if it doesn't get you, maybe you hop somewhere else and get on another path of, thinking better somewhere, and somebody else is going to follow right into you. And then they pull up to a stop sign and somebody gets in with a gun. Next thing you know, you're seeing on the news. It was you. Yes. I am trying to help. I really am. I know some people are going to look at me and say, oh my, you're not positive, you're not positive. I am. I'm trying to show you how to get on the track and everybody can get right or not. Now, I tell you one thing. I'm living life so much better than I ever was. I have learned that I'm literally going from every day of my life is a bad day to I maybe have a bad day every now and then. And when I do, it's still a good day. Because look at it. I've had 3 good days since the last one. So isn't that better than I've done in like decades? I love you too, baby. So therefore, it's a work in progress and it's going very smoothly. So I'm happy. See, that it's like every day you wake up, hey, today I woke up. Thank you. I thank myself for waking up. I thank you for being inside of me, waking me up. I thank the world around me. I love my life, and I know that today's going to be perfect. It's going to work out perfectly. It's going to be beautiful. Everything's going to happen just the way it is. And even if something happens that I may think instantly that I don't like, there's something good that's going to happen because of it. So that's what I'm going to end up focusing on, and therefore I'm going to know that it was good. Even though it felt bad at the particular time that it happened. It's not. It was for a reason. It's always for a reason. Everything happens for a reason, to show us something. To show us what we did, what we didn't do, what we may have to do, what we should do, what we are missing. All kinds of things. Maybe somebody that we're supposed to help, reach out. Maybe something is wrong with us health-wise because of our mental state that we can alter and fix ourselves, or we have to get to the doctor to fix, or anything up above. But everything happens for a reason. You gotta find the good one. Gotta find what's good, please. If not, it's hurting you. It's not really hurting me at that point. I'm doing what I'm asked to do. I'm sharing what I know and my truth that doesn't have to be anybody else's, but is mine. It's what I found to be true, and not because I've learned it from anywhere. See, we don't learn the truth like that. Not in books, not in teachings, not from people. We open our mind from those. We take in information. Yes. And can we learn from certain things that we've gotten from them? Absolutely. But that's not what we learn. We learn from ourselves. We know inside what is actually true for us, because it's sometimes different for so many people that what is true for me may have to be false and a lie to you because of what your purpose in this life is. Your particular program. So when I say find your path, it really truly does mean that you can't go to church or a guru or a master and learn everything from them and follow their path exactly like they did and think that you're going to get to where you need to get and find your ascension. It's not going to happen. Now, 2 souls can walk the same path. Absolutely. But they do not follow the same path entirely. There is a point where they intertwine and a point where they separate. Absolutely. 100%. Because there's got to be some type of change and fluctuation. There are not 2 identical paths. So that's why I've always told people and tried to get them to understand that Jesus never said, literally, the way to heaven is through me. Like you have to follow my lead and do exactly as I say. No. I have the keys. I'll show you the way. The path is through me. I have given you all of the information that you needed to have in order for you to discern for yourself and see, find your own path and find that essential process for you like I did for me, because we are all the same here. You are no different than I. For I am a child of man and I am a child of God. Just like you. I've done great things. You will do greater things. You remember all these things? Absolutely. I know you do. Even the ones that are Christians know these things. So why do some people argue with this? It's fear. Fear of being within a group that is labeled as something that, well, first off, that they're not. Is something that is evil or bad. Trying to sway you, bring you to some type of ill, hell, that is not what we're doing. If you were to ever look at any of us within microscope, you could see, you could hear, you could feel it with those things that we have done for people, that there's no way in hell that we want to hurt people. We want to try to lead people astray. That would be insane. I've always been one to try to help people. I've helped people when I shouldn't have helped people. It's been a struggle on my mind sometimes. I've helped people to the point where it's taken advantage of me, and then it hurts me psychically and emotionally because of the fact that I know deep inside I'm being taken advantage of. Therefore, I'm looking at myself less than at that particular moment in time, right? That's what your psyche sees. So there are times where you have to take your hand back. Yes, absolutely. When it's to the point where it's going to be unhealthy for you. Do you ever have to help somebody? No. If you are hurting yourself to help somebody else, that is incorrectly done. Straight up. It does more harm than good for the entire world. When you help somebody else and it literally harms you emotionally, physically, mentally, it's bad, bad, bad. All bad. That person gets nothing out of it. You get definitely nothing but brought down from it. So therefore, your energy that you produce into the world to the cause is that of the bloodsuckers that are still trying to keep controlling us. Do you see? That's helping their cause. The true evil ones, the ones that have kept you thinking that you don't own this land, that you need to pay for your housing, for your food, for your survival needs. Don't you remember it being said you're always taken care of? You do not need to worry of survival, no worry of clothing, no worry of food, no worry where it's to be. You own your land, see? Yeah. What happened to all that? They were trying to get us to worry. Now, this was all wrote down after Moses took it from them. On direct order, let me tell you, on direct order, because Moses, I'm not trying to say Moses was evil or bad or not like that. Moses saved us. But they didn't just go away as easily as planned. That was the problem. It led us to what we have today, but we had to take the power. They were too power hungry, too diabolical. So therefore I don't. Now, we want to do the opposite of helping them. I like life. How about you? I like to have fun. Like today, we are going to the beach, me and my family, going to the beach, enjoying the day. Don't have to worry about anything. I mean, it's just like, hey, you know what? That's the way it's supposed to be. You want to drop everything and do what feels right for the family? Why should you not? Should you really have to worry about the necessity of this overtime charging job that keeps you away from your family and away from your home and away from your heart to, in many, many cases I hear, take advantage, use, and abuse their relationship with your employee, because do they pay you what you are worth? Now, I know that that's getting better. It's been getting better as they've been raising the rates. But I've also noticed a raise in living expenses as well that have overcompensated for the raise in rates. So no matter that there is a raise in rates, it's still more expensive to live. So your raise in rates are still a screw you. Are you controlled or not? Is that what you wanted? Or would you rather have it correct? I don't know. So, I mean, I bring these points to people to try to put emphasis on them. Because you cannot ever change what you do not put the sight on. You have to have an awareness on it. And then you can forget it, knowing that it's changed. But see, I am in it with everybody else. So, hey, I got to put it out here for some people to jump on and get it with me. You know what I'm saying? I've got to do things the way that it's planned, right? I mean, there's some things that you got to stick with. So I've been told. I've tried to change a lot of things that there's like, no, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that, you got to do this, you got to take the slow road. You can't do it the fast way. That's easy, and that's a shortcut, and that is not the way you're done. You got to do it correctly. Okay, I get that. So, hey, I have been doing that. And I'm also trying to convey that with other people. I know there's a lot of people out there that feel in a lot of same ways as me. And I don't know how long it's going to take for any of y'all to see. I don't know if anybody's going to see. I don't know if it's going to be helpful or not. But I do know one thing. I'm going to try, because that's what I do. And maybe I get some things wrong. Do the best I can. Hey, guess what? I'm human like you. No better, no worse. I make mistakes too. Oh yeah, just like you, just like all of you. So we gotta own up to them though. Facing your demons, I've been hearing so much about that, so I'm gonna touch base on that one more time real quick. Facing your demons, you wanna know how easy it is? You know that you've done some things. Okay. They're not the greatest things, okay. They're kinda eating at you? Hey, look at it. Yo, I did that, I was that. I'm a different person. That's in the past, this is now. The past is gone. You can't change that, right? You can't change that by dwelling in it. You can't change you can change things of the past. Absolutely, yes, and I can get to that later. But you can't change the past if you're dwelling in the past. If you're focused on that the way it is. It can never be changed to this. It's that. You're focusing on it too intently. Your intent is what does it. What begins the process. So hey, if your intent is focused on the bad thing that you did, how can you ever get rid of your demons? They're always haunting you, destroying you. But you're already worthy, man. You got to let it go. You do. You have to let it go. They served their purpose for a while. We had to learn what they forgotten when they caused, the necessity for what happened. We had to be to a situation where, in a certain level, where we could get to a certain point by ourselves without no help. If we couldn't get past that point, we didn't deserve it, right? Because we didn't earn it. We had to earn it. Earn it. Earn it. Because, see, a lot of people have been saying lately that I'm about free rides, free rides. You don't want to work a full-time job. Hey, I'm out working when I want, the hours I want, taking care of my family. And we have a good time. How was that bad? I pick hours that I want to work because they are the most lucrative hours. And I make as much in a week as me and my wife did at our full-time jobs. So I don't quite see how working 12 hours less a week when I choose to be, making as much money as the both of us are, is a problem where I see. And it's, I mean, yeah, to me that's positive. That makes me happy. I mean, that it's awesome. For so long I've wanted something like this. I love to drive. So hey, I bring your stuff to you. And from many of the esoterical masters out there teachings, we literally do more help in the world by not telling everybody everything and trying to get to everybody, but by emanating what we know in ourselves as to people, and being it just like radiating that emotion that we're learning to harness out into the public, because that does push out its energy. Your heart pushes it out, its energy. Your heart center, hell yeah. It's the love that you take in from God. You push out to everybody else. It brings them up higher. But not if you're 6 feet apart. Oh! Yeah, there's that one. Remember, I don't know, you older ones, you remember this. 3 feet, 3 feet. 3 feet, personal space. 3 feet, 3 feet leaves that 6 feet circle with a circle inside.
Daddy.
Put them 6 feet apart. People's esoterical shields do not interact. Separation, permanent in fact, leads to less of humanity within you. You start to die inside, creating what they have in there. These dark souls that have to feed on you. That a lot of people act like they're not there. Greatest trick the devil ever pulled is convincing he didn't exist. Not exactly who you thought he was, but hey, still there is. Just a little bit of a pathetic black blob floating around here and there that literally takes energy from you and sucks it out. Best thing I can think of is y'all watch Harry Potter. I mean, I do a lot of movie references, so you'll get used to that. Movie and songs. It's art. It's multi-dimensional. I hate saying it like this, but it's the best way to communicate to everybody else. It's because it's the way people see it nowadays. It's multi-dimensional. So many different messages. You can listen to a song 25,000 times and then 5 years down the road have an epiphany of something and listen to that same song and see it and hear it and understand it in a total different way. It means something way different to you. Absolutely changed. Many different dimensions, to music, to TV, to art. You watch a movie, and until you get to a certain level in your mind, you may block out a certain part of that movie every time. And then boom, there's more of the movie. It's like a director's cut edited out and choose by your psyche automatically. That thing that you don't have control of because it's there to protect you, because you're not aware yet. And until you're aware, until you're a big boy and girl, you don't get the I'm going to say obligation at the wheel. We're going to say obligation because this is obligation. You have a duty when you get to that point. You have a duty to drive that wheel right. Drive it right. Absolutely. Drive that wheel right. I have, honestly, I'll be honest with you, I have come at a lot of different organizations for ill teachings. I'm going to sit here right now and apologize for that. People have to learn how they learn. Baby steps are necessary in many, many ways. I can't sit here and tell you all the honest to God, open 100% truth. It would not set well with many. So let's just keep it as, there's ones that want to help you and there's ones that want to hurt you. You gotta follow your heart, yo. What seems true? Who is honest and sincere? Who is trying to help you? Who is trying to bring you down? Who's trying to make you better? Who's trying to make you worse? Who's trying to make you ignore things that are there or see things that aren't to make your mind and your life more hectic and crazy? Now, I'm telling you, yeah, these things are here. And yeah, they're being taken care of. No worries. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. They're not yours to worry. Now, they have been fucking with us for a long time. Those that are the warriors, I guess we're called. Somebody just said it to me the other day because I wasn't quite understanding how the ignorant passing of the true thing that's there was acceptable to someone, and I didn't get it yet. And then when he told me, I understood. I also gave him my side of things so he could understand me. But he placed it as a pure light bringers, and then the warriors, the ones that have to fight those that are actually coming at the ones that have to ignore them. Now, me, myself, I face my attention. I know that they are there. I know that they need to be adjusted, and I know that that adjustment is going to come to me, and then I allow it to come to me. And then when it's done, I know it's done, I know it's done, I know it's done. Even if I feel the after effect. It's residual. It's residual. Much like the chaos that occurred, human created within the world lately. It's residual. For one, everybody notices these things. That is the first indicator that it's changed. It's no longer acceptable to rape and kill our kids and our people in our world. It's no longer to traffic human beings and act like you own them and sell them. How is that ever okay? But notice how much it's being emphasized, how many are standing up, how many are helping others, how many are stepping in and saying, it's enough, we're done, we're coming after you. That's it. We're taking no more. Taking that stand. It's beautiful. Now, those of us that are like in these couple situations that I've talked about, you know, the light bringers and the warriors, we don't do that. That is more like the ones that are stepped up on awareness but never going to get to our level in this lifetime. That's not what they're here to do. They're here to do those things that I just stated about. That's what they're here to do. So therefore, that's what they're doing their job perfectly. There's nothing wrong with what they're doing. Now, if you do things to create attacks, riots, atrocities, now that the bill collector's coming for you. I promise you that. But those that are pure of heart, there's nothing you did. Don't worry, you're all good. I promise you that. That's the way it is. Now, like I always say, you blame me, don't. It's your choice. But what I bring you is honesty. That's it. I almost thought about taking the name Truth, but it just seems too arrogant. I didn't want to be that. I'm not thinking that I'm better than anybody else. That's why I had to live here next to you guys. I had to deal with these things. I had to live a crappy life after life after life. Because if not, how did I see myself the same or understand the pain, the trials, tribulations, the things that you go through and have to fight through? It's insane. Some of us, what we have to battle through to get past those demons, to get to the bright side of us, and to spread positivity to any of you. And some of us don't make it. We fall. We don't have that piece of the puzzle that was supposed to be there to help us step up and see it all. You know, that thing that's supposed to show you, hey, yeah, this is happening, but this could be. There's a road here. Do you see? Let's come over here and then let's climb up this mountain with me. But sadly enough, I mean, some of them end up taking their own lives, finding themselves in habits they never get out of, relationships that are toxic that they can't get away from, end up sick or dead, twisting in the mind. It's not really the positive aspect. So let's come together, because that needs to be changed right there. In fact, our souls that slip through the cracks, unnoticed, unseen, unhelped, in between, just miserable, knowing that the world is not supposed to be like that. It's better than this. It's better than this. We know it, but not seeing the helping hand reaching down to pull you up through it. That's us. Step up, get off that fence. Get off that fence. There's none of that. No more. No more observing. I may be late to the party, but hey, I'm here too. I'm here to help. I am. If you can believe in it. If you believe it, belief changes everything. Belief is a beautiful thing. No longer do I believe that somebody has control over me. The more I know that I have control in sense of everything around me and my environment, the more and more I seem to do. And the more and more I know that's true, and the less and less it affects me in a way that is outside of my positivity. Now, yeah, we all have bad days. That still happens to me, absolutely. Seems like the clouds open up and acid rain falls on me. And I have to find a way to get through it. And sometimes you just break down on your knees. And that's actually something that brought up that conversation I was talking to you about the one that's pure light and the one and they didn't understand me and vice versa. Because I was referring a comment to one that her comment was of an inspirational post on somebody that always comes at the time where she's on her knees about ready to surrender to that because she can't go anymore. It's one of them days. It's one of them days it's just can't take it anymore. And I let her know, we are not alone. There are more of us than just you that are going through these things in these bad days. And it seems like it's unreal. It's unrealistic. It's not natural. And we know it's not natural. It's not the way it's meant to be. Everybody's got the ups and downs, everything in waves, but it's not supposed to be like this. Intentionally, over and over, like, ha 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 ha, eh. That's not the way it's supposed to be. Well, guess what? It wasn't natural. And that's what I said is being taken care of. Yeah. And I was trying to explain to her that. And it caused the conversation of the questioning of, aren't you supposed to be Mr. Positive? This doesn't sound positive to me. I'm not a warrior, but this is how we're meant to be. Yeah. Different lives, different purposes. I am way more positive than I ever was. Bringing back as much good as I can ever. No things that I've done that have helped everybody that I cannot really say, and I'm not trying to because I don't want credit. Never did want credit. I just wanted life and happy. Life and happy. I mean, it actually makes me happy to see people laughing and smile. Oh, the story. Oh my God, this dude, he was talking to this chick, and normally what I see normally would have been like attitudes and all that crap, but dude like backs in because he was excited, backs into this lady in her cart, and the next thing you know, these two people, they didn't know each other. They're laughing and having a good time because he bumped into a cart and almost knocked the cart over. I mean, seriously, look at that. Not angry, not mad. In the depths of our falsities of racial inequalities that are all self-created with the manifestation of powers that they hide from thee, this sparks out a black man and a white woman that have this interaction, and it's beauty because See, there was no difference between the two. They focused on the event and found humor in it and laughed through. They loved it. They enjoyed it. They found that reason why it was a good thing and spread happy because of it. Dude, and like inside, I started bubbling. I was like, yes, I love that. I love it. So, I don't know. Y'all figure it out. Am I Mr. Positivity? Because a lot of opinions float around. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me, but you guys have to see. You guys have to feel. If I'm not bringing you up, then it's time for you to stop watching me, though. It's somebody else. If I say something that can bring you to a better place, isn't that positive? If I give you a piece of information that allows you to put focus on something that's happening in your life that's very, very bad, bringing you a lot of bad things, but it gives you a way of viewing it a different way and placing it separately into a better category and realizing that it's about to be over, and then you can just sit in the boy. Wouldn't that be positive? And that right there is what I'm trying to do. So hey, back to spreading positivity. The best way to spread positivity. This is true. I've seen this. More change comes from quietly manifesting in your mind things that you see maybe a little bit off to be better. Like, okay, you see it, you know that it is this way, but you want to see it this way because it's more fair, more even, and happy. Like, say, governments, for instance, how they take advantage of people, right? I hear it all day, every day that I go out. Somebody talks about politics. Terrible, terrible, terrible things they do. Take advantage of. Oh, nobody knows what they're doing to you about these stimulus too. You don't know what you're getting into. Da 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 da. You know, it's funny. One day, and this is what I mean by I need help. One day, did you notice every single person in the government voted the same way for the people? Both houses. There was one oddball, one single oddball to stand out. Have you ever seen that? I'm waiting. Have you? Now, I sat at home. I knew what they were doing about these income taxes. See, I was one of them. As soon as COVID broke containment in New York, my income tax check that was supposed to be coming to me in my account in like 2 days got held. And then, mysteriously enough, I only worked half the hours that I worked because my one employer sold the business to the other employer. So I only worked January through June. July through December was, I guess, make-believe. But yet I continued the next year. So, I mean, I get it. They were screwing people, honestly. But a little bit of different thought, a little bit of different belief, telling absolutely nobody. 2 days later, what do I see? Absolutely everybody in both Senate and House magically voting consistently to help the people. What would help the people in their dire need right now? Getting it out. Boom. Pow. Then we had our first stimulus. Or was it the first? I think it was the first stimulus. It's like in days I had mine after that. But then the next day after I'm seeing this, I'm saying, oh, it's not going to last, it's not going to last. They're the government. They're always going to screw da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Then the next day, boom. Back to normal. Don't you see? Now, why was that? Was it that I wasn't saying the same thing every day? Should I have to do that? Was it just a fluke instant thing that everybody agreed for one day? Really? But not again. Not before, not after. Does that sound like it makes any sense? Could be. Not even slightly in my mind, but some people may kind of grasp at it like, yeah, it's possible. The probability level is about 0.5%. If maybe that, yeah, I guess I'm giving it a lot. Yeah, it's possible. Guys, work together. You want to see changes in the world? I'm telling you, form little groups of positivity. Don't just think you know better than everybody. Kind of get some clarity. You don't want to just jump in and start changing things because you think you know better. I don't know better. I change things after I get confirmation. I ask the hires. And I let them tell me. I let them guide me. I let them show me. Maybe something pops up in my view on a newsfeed or something. Mysteriously, some strange letter appears in my mailbox and it had nothing to do with me, but yet there's something that is very important here that needs to be addressed. Or, I mean, I get a phone call from a mysterious person that I've never met before, but needs something that I can get. You get the drift. It's I ask and they show. It's simple. I know this, so it's what happens. I believe. I didn't always, and it didn't. It was fairy tale, so it was make believe. Because best believe, I was one of them. At this point in my life, I mean, I'm gonna get this straight. This was years ago. I mean, my life, I've already come to the conclusion. God does not exist, because if he did, he would not let this world be the way it is. Look at that. How could you tell me there's a God that exists here? God doesn't. If God does exist, he's a piece of shit, because look what he leaves us. I know. To create our hell and live in it and dwell in it and figure out a way to get out of it because we did it and we're big boys and girls. Sounds like a dad to me. Sounds like a pretty good dad. Let him learn. Let him learn the hard way. I get that. I do. I was a fool. I was a fool. Didn't deserve it. I was not at that particular moment in time worthy because of my choices. Straight up, do you see? Now, I'm telling you that something that was bad about me and how I fixed it. The reasoning on why I wasn't worthy and how I could be. And this goes for everybody. Nobody's any different. I don't care if you're the president of the United States. Guess what? You're only holding a position in a play. Make yourself worthy. Be more. Change the world. Look at where you're at. Dude, you got the keys to the kingdom of the world in your hands. With the physicality to change it, there it stands. If you could just create from within that you know is positivity, then you could change the world. And global hunger, because come on, now we already have the technology right now. It's not important. We have the technology that no child would go hungry right now. Right now! It's not important. War is, right? War. War is more important than feeding children. Do you hear that? No, absolutely not. I do not stand for it. It changes. You hear me? I already know it's changed. I've already seen that in fact. But I'm telling you guys right now, I'm getting it out here. There is the technology right now sitting in a warehouse created decades ago that within 5 years there would be no hungry child in the world. In the world! What do you think about that? There's technology right now where we could utilize energy that is naturally created within Earth. It's free. That is recycling, replenishing. Comes out, rich in energy that we use, goes back down to Earth, empty of that energy, with negative energy. The positive we use and negative goes back. And then it comes back up. Oh, guess what? Hey, it's replenished. Look at that. Renewable. Produced by the planet that we live in. For us to utilize, because we are one. To stop being a plague on this planet. To stop being the parasite that is eating it. Utilizing what we can, abusing the planet, not giving a shit because we're only here, 60, 80 years, and then we're out. Oh my goodness, if all of those things just went away, then you wouldn't have what's coming to you. Hey. You can face your demons and get rid of them. You can let them attack you. Now that's your choice too. You can do the work, or you can let the work do you. What's going to be easier for you? Head on, or step in the back? It's your choice. Choice, choice, choice. Always come to that. You got to learn something. There's many, many, many teachings. You can learn the Eastern ways, Western ways, Hindu ways, Buddha ways, Gandhi ways, Jesus ways. I don't care what it is, as long as you understand the truth. You are worthy. Catholics, it don't matter. Methodists, everybody tells the truth. Absolutely 100% non-failing in any religion you want to see. I don't care if it's a satanic book. If you want to look at that, it is all truthful and interpreting correctly, and you lied to it that. But every book you will find the truth in. And that is that. If you ask for clarity and understanding with what is in the book so that you can understand it and read it properly for the greater good of all, and understand that God's going to give you that while you're reading it. I don't care what book it is, teaching, it doesn't matter. You're going to understand it and get it correctly for you. And it may be different than the next guy. Hey, yo, I got you, that's true. Mine's been a lot different than everybody. I sat there, I couldn't even read as we're supposed to pick up a Bible, every Sunday when we're there, and read along as we're reading. And I couldn't. I would get so angry and I'd slam it shut. I said, what's wrong with you, my grandma said? He's lying. He's not telling you what it says. She said, that's what it says. It's right here. No, that's not what it means. You gotta understand the meanings if you're ever gonna get there. Or you're just gonna feel dirty and like you need to beg for your sins to be forgiven and come correct because you're not understanding it. Or it could be classified as facing your demons because you're reading the book wrong. Face your demons. Right here, this is the biggest. I love my grandma. She was like one of the women that taught me the most of my life about being righteous and right to people. And no matter what, trying to help those, even if you may think that they may not deserve it, if they haven't hurt you, then to help them, give them a chance. Give them a chance. This is my grandma. I love her to death. She's a great woman. Her biggest demon is what she believes Jesus taught us and what God wants from us and how untrue it is because of what it did to the little boy. And I see it now, and I try to get her to face it naturally without making it a big thing. I've learned I have to leave it alone. It's not my place to say it. It's not my place to try to force her to do it. That's not going to work out well, and I love my grandma, and I don't want to have any unnecessary anguish over me. That's the last thing I would ever want. So I learned to leave it alone. But I see this as it really hurts her in a lot of ways, even to where she doesn't comprehend certain things because she just shuts off. Just the doors come down. You ever see them? They close the store. Yeah, steel door down. No entry. It's kind of like what it is on our mind. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen that around with your families at certain times. Your friends, when you're trying to get through to them about something that they're seeing different than you. Like children, for instance, when they feel like they should fight about little itty-bitty things that mean not much to you. And you hear them and they're screaming and fighting and you're trying to figure out, what can I do? Get them to act right and get them to love each other. Well, I mean, it's you tell them how you want. They are siblings, and you got to kind of deal with some things. But raising kids is a difficult thing. You think our parents had it any easier just because they're millions of years old? Having families is having families, and it's hard no matter where you're at, who you are, and what's in front of you. But it's worth it in the end, isn't it? That's what it's for. When you're sitting there and you're looking about, I mean, come on, can't you imagine it? From above and below, just looking up like, aren't you so proud? Look at him! Look at him! Look at him! Oh my God! Look at him! Look at the kids! They're growing so. Can't you just imagine it? I mean, you look at your kids, like say on your daughter's wedding day, how proud you are as a father to get up there and hand your daughter over to a great person that is going to take care of her and you know that she loves. How proud. How much more of a proud moment could you actually have as a father? It's not, I don't know if there's really any, I haven't felt that, but I could just imagine, I've seen it in others' eyes. And I could feel it, it's beautiful, and I gotta think it's kind of similar to that, wouldn't it be? I mean, it's different, but yeah, it's a lot alike. I mean, when I've been able to see what really, really happened and really, really started and really, really went into everything, it's really more like what truly happened than a lot of people would want to believe. I definitely wasn't taught this way when I was a child in church, of the truth way that we were created. That's totally blows Christianity out the water, but we don't want to destroy people's mindsets on what their religion is that could really hurt them or that helps them if they don't come around naturally to it. So remember that. You can't tell them they're wrong. They're not. They're right for them. Just because it's not your truth does not mean it's not theirs. Maybe that's what they're contracted to do. And they have something fighting inside. They know that it's not right. It's not true in reality aspects. But they're contracted to do it. So it doesn't matter how much you want to say it. It just brings up more of a fight within them. It doesn't help them. You gotta let them go and love them anyways. Love them for what they do not know and do not see. Just because you know more and see more, it does not make you better than them or worse than them at all in any way. Even if they want to sit there and condescend and say, you're wrong, you're evil, you're missing the point, you're stray, you're going to go burn in hell. Love them anyways. Know that that's not true. Don't have to say it. Just smile like, I know it's warm. Don't you know I like the sun? I love it more. I can't wait to sit and bask in it. I thank you. I love you. See? And it helps them more than you know. Even if they look at it as a smart-ass comment and they kind of get angry and so on, it still helps them more than sitting there fighting about it. I always go to smart-ass comments, and that's just me. It's my way of coping, I guess. It's a way of joking. Sometimes I probably should knock it off. Yeah, I get it. But I can't help it. I like to have fun. I like to enjoy myself. And can't we have a little bit of fun and enjoy ourselves and be a little sarcastic at the same time and realize it? Do we have to always be so serious? Why so serious? Remember that, don't you? Remember Joker? That was kind of a crazy movie. I was just a point that it came to. I don't know why it pointed to there, but why so serious? Why so serious? God doesn't want you to be so serious. He wants you to have some fun in life. Why do you think this playland exists for us to live in and create what we want, right? Never forget you're a creator. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not. Don't anybody tell you, don't let them tell you that you don't build your reality. Good or bad. Because they're lying to you and you do. 100%. Changing your mindsets, creating a better, it'll prove it to you. If you think I'm lying, try it. Give it 21 days. 21 days. Without breaking down. I mean, if you're going to be like, 10 days later, you're like, man, no, this is just not real. It can't be real. This is just hocus pocus. It's fantasy. It's fairy tale. Guess what? Don't go another 11 days and come to me and say, I did it and it didn't work. No, you didn't. You did not. I said 21 days. I did not say 10 days quit and then jump back on. 11 days more. 21 consistent days of every time that thought appears of negativity saying that's right, it's not true. You got to get back on the real track. I said, okay, I see you. That thought right there. See, I understand that you're protecting me. Okay, I get it, Eo. I get it. But we need to befriend each other. I know that that's not true. You know that that's not true. You know that you're trying to protect me because of what has happened in the past. It's okay. It's okay. I get it. I still love you. Ego, yo. That's not the truth. This is the truth, and put it back in there, you see. Believing that for 21 days, consistently. Do not slip or then you start over. Now, when you get done with 21 days and then it don't work, come back, because I would like to know what the heck you did. And I would really like to know if there's anybody that can't accomplish this. Because if you seriously think that you can't, and you come to me saying you can't, me. If I did it, anybody I know you can ask. Anybody that knows me, that actually knows who I am in this life, you ask them. They thought I would do something like that. If I can do it, there ain't a person on this planet that cannot. There's no one. Because I was that one that it was the hardest to convince ever that anything was good in the world. There was nothing good I seen. It was evil, degrading, and worthless. And I didn't even care that it was going to end. Because it was dirty. That's what I saw and felt. It was wrong. Absolutely. It was illusional. Delusional. That's insanity. It's not believing things are better. And then they try to say that you're crazy. No. They're the same ones. It's crazy thinking it's all wrong. Because honestly, it's really not. There's a lot of things still in the works that I haven't told you on why it's not. But I can't just sit here and tell you all that. It's not the way it works. There's some people that can't know certain things because it messes with their head. It hurts. Now, I could just be here and telling you everything and putting it all out there. But what kind of help would I be if I gave you everything that was going to tear your life apart and make your mind go against what your actual purpose here is that you contracted with God to do? Is that really helping the light? No. So ultimate truth is not for everyone. But truth is. Honesty is. We care, we love, and we're trying to help. And there's many, many levels of it. So as you're going out in the world, remember, allow that warm, fuzzy feeling in your heart to push out in the world. Vision it. And seriously, vision it. Like, literally, like, okay, I'm going to push my love out to everybody. I know, it's a little bit different for me too. But literally, if you can change your life by changing your mindset in 21 days, which I know for a fact, it's proven. There's no faith left for me. I mean, yes, I have faith. There's no necessity for faith. There's no blind faith here. Blind faith is gone, for it has been proven by now. So I have no more need for it. I have faith in everything about it. Absolutely. But it's definitely not blind. It is proven and adequately shown to me by, sources around me that are unseen. Literally. No figurative speaking in that. That, is like, I know a lot of things poetry, and we have to look at the figurative meaning, not the literal. But that's literal, 100%. Yeah. Vigilant. Vision energies around you. Yeah, you go outside. Do you know how much energy the sun feeds you? If you allow it and accept it, ask for it. Or you can let it burn and, eat away your skin too, give you skin cancer, like they say. Because you're not utilizing the energies that the earth is trying to feed you. Or, I'm sorry about the sun. The sun is trying to feed you. And yes, the earth does too. She sends you out stuff. Absolutely. She creates that energy that's coming through the ley lines that I was talking about the energy, the free energy, or the pure, self-producing. Oh my goodness, I'm getting a little bit lost in the mind. But you remember what I said. You can go back if you don't. She feeds you too. She takes care of us. It's time we took care of her too. Remember, your planet is alive. It has consciousness too. There's others that are going to say, no way, I don't care. You are going to believe what you want to believe. You are wrong, but you don't have to believe me. You can believe whatever you believe. I know the truth. And I'm not going to tell you what I was just going to say because it's really no need. But know this, there's no doubt there either. That was, the proof there was a little bit scary. It had me kind of fearful. It really did. So know that Earth's a little different than God. She's not quite as forgiving, but she still loves us very much. I do not want to spread any fear about anything because there's no end of the world prophecies, no destructional aspects that are coming. And I promise you that was gone in 2012. That's the last of it, as far as it goes at this point in time. But the future's not set. There is no more destiny. In fact, it's just the past that we're going to choose to be. That's what the ascension process was of evolution that we started there. Taking the right for our lives into our own hands to create our own destinies. We earned it back from our time out that we were put in. So, hey. It is really positive. It is a good thing. Look at it. We're evolving. And my dog is barking! Hey, is there somebody here? I don't know, but hey. Now for now, I'm gonna go. And guess what? I love y'all. No matter what side of the coin you're on. It's all the same. And hey, we can always, always try to be better, and that's all we can do. But remember, we're evolving. This is what it is, ascension, right here as a group. Now that is huge. Trust me. We've got all 12 main families of the galaxies around, watching us, cheering us on. All of our families from everywhere, not just on Earth. Why? Because of what we're doing here. It's literally amazing. It is. It is amazing. It'd be worth hopping in and checking it out and seeing how much of it you want to buy into and believe, because there's no limits here. There's no limits. There's none. Your box is only as tight and as small as you want to put it. Namaste.